Risk of Nightreign Fortnite Edition is what you get if you made Elden Ring, but ADHD, a weapon randomizer, and a battle royale. There you go, that's the meme view. Yeah, the rest of the video is a black screen, go away. Okay, for real this time.
Let's go.
Don't care. Still don't care.
The Rock! Now imagine you took Elden Ring, like the entire game, but instead of spending over 60 hours on one playthrough, with 5 of them being on Millennia, instead you have these Spark Notes "I didn't read the book before the test" version of the game. However, like how reading through Spark Notes, you definitely didn't get the whole story, because not only is it short, the game allows you to play with other people, and by other people I mean friends. Because the only time I'm ever going to play with randoms is if I forgot to change the matchmaking settings to 1 player and can only watch as it says matchmaking complete in the top right after failing to do the quick time event to hit the cancel button. Technically, older Ring also had multiplayer, but Nightreign doesn't require sacrificial fingers for a single fight, or modding the game and protecting my session with a fighting game combo as a password. Also, it's easier to convince someone to do a Nightreign run that will last maybe more than half an hour than a whole Elden Ring playthrough. My proof of this is that this was a multiplayer playthrough until we got to the first boss. Not only this, but you can kind of get the randomizer experience through this game because it's what I like to call a controlled randomizer, which to a normal person be a roguelike. Rivers of blood! Yes. Rivers of blood! Right. Rivers of blood! I call it this because yes, you can still get put up against the boss you definitely should not fight yet, and the gear you get is entirely random, but you will deal with it anyway.
All resistance is down.
Yeah, I think I'm good on that. Now, for those of you who aren't using me as a vessel to stave off boredom during lunch or sleep time, you may be wondering where Fortnite is involved in this. My answer to this is to answer, where are we dropping boys? And which incomprehensible horror are we going to try and speedrun this time because the storm is closing? On the other side of the map. Why am I making this video again?
I love getting sound effects.
Onion Ring featuring Fortnite Jonesy is a roll slop game as it has been deemed by the Twitter demons. However, despite it literally having an elven thing in the title, it definitely does not play like it. You get to choose which boss you fight before you start, and the game actually tells you what you should get. This is of course a FromSoft game, so of course they wouldn't give you this without some sort of sacrificial lamb, which in this case is that you will likely not get the affinity the boss is actually weak to. The bosses all have their own form of torture for you to endure, ranging from fighting 3 of these fuckers at once, the Lagadator, and Guardian's worst nightmare, Rain Knight. Yep, that's what I'm going with. How harems will actually end up, Balling, and the worst one, Capitalism, where we get to see how Reaganomics actually plays out. Not only this, but a lot of these bosses have Everdark form, which for normal people is the enhanced versions, which means they start at phase 2, then go to phase 3. Oh yeah, and they're a little hard.
Are you kidding me?
After choosing a boss and dropping off the battle bus, you are at level 1, which is baby mode. You should not be doing anything at this point except finding willing donors to your cause to get out of level 1. Once you are at level 2, maybe level 3, the game is playable, which means yes, you beat up people for lunch money still to level up. However, the storm is approaching, which means you need to go faster. You need to look at the map, pick a place, and be doing something at all times. We play in MOBAs in this bitch. You need to be doing something, whether it be praying to your Oshi to heal more, killing a boss to get weapons and upgrades, or getting stone sword keys to do, well, what I just said, again, except this time, you always take the runes. Do not take the other thing. It is not worth it. Take the runes. All of this while simultaneously running past all the smaller weak enemies, drive-buying every scarab along the way for talismans, and refilling on flasks after going past every grace. This is quite literally just a Sigma male grind set that life expects out of you, except I'm here writing a script and editing a video that I get no value out of because I can't even start the Sigma male grind set because the betas won't hire me. Now that sounds like a lot, because it is. And for those of you who don't know, most Soul games are about careful and methodical exploration. Now with everything I have just said, you can throw all of that knowledge out the window, because we play a Nightreign. Here you have Sekiro wall jump, no fall damage, spirit jumps, and sometimes a grapple that will save you half a second, which doesn't sound like a lot. But remember that some people will do the stupidest decisions while driving a car for even less time saved, so it's a lot to some people. And we play in boss rush, except when one of the 4 horsemen on screen. You do not fuck with them. Leave. Be slightly careful though, because if you die, you lose all of your runes and an extra amount amounting to about a level. And if you die again while running back, there is a high likelihood you will be like me and disconnect. There are also random things that can happen before and during a run. Before the run, a shifting earth can happen, which not only causes California to collapse in and on itself again, but also changes how you might play certain runs. In a normal run, it's kill, grind on night 1, and then go to castle night 2. With shifting earths, usually it swaps to having night 2 be the shifting earth day, where you get the power of said area, which can be a revive or the Great Millennia rune. Then it usually ends up being a boss rush after getting the power. Or it could be Mountain Slop or Crystal Area and you'll desire death. During a run, a random event can happen. One of the bosses gets jealous of you and fights you anyway. Like how the balancers teleport you to fuck off land that says you're fighting bosses or you'll have no flasks. Although they're a little rare considering that out of my 15 runs I've recorded, this is the only one I've gotten. But some that I have seen is Mr. Sleep shows up to teleport you to fuck off land as well and fight him for a garbage power. I hate this guy. Morgoth can show up at level 2. I had this happen to me once, I wanted to kill myself. And of course, the Laganator, but ice variant. After everything, you get to the final boss, which is where the game slows down to a more traditional Souls game speed. This admittedly is way harder than it sounds because you're so used to speedrunning through because of the Fortnite storm that you might forget that these guys will invert your entire body for trying to speedrun them. And no, I'm not editing a visual of that. You can fuck off imagining how that looks now. However, I think that this if you know image explains exactly what I'm talking about, and what you will look like afterwards. Not only this, but instead of leveling up specific stats like most of the other Souls games that you ever played, your stats level up depending on what character you play, and each character's stats, along with whatever passives that are on these weapons, will completely change your playstyle from run to run. One run, you could be Damage Negation Machine, where damage means nothing, and you poise through everything. Or you could be Rivers of Blooding all over the place. This is a perfect time to talk about the different John Frun slots that you can play.
Mega Ball.
Every character has their own stat distribution and favorite weapons. For example, John Wilder is the all-rounder in quotes, because despite mainly wanting greatsword, he has the foresight to understand that he might not get them, so he has decent other stats to run pretty much anything. He has the 0.5 second saber grapple that also doubles as a follow-up with the right relics, along with the power of Old Spice and Terry Crews. Guardian is very good at blocking shit, and yeah, guard countering. He likes halberds because he has a couple attacks that are unique to them, but honestly, anything that has a good guard counter is fine. He also has a special passive where if you hold block and dodge, he goes into tank mode, to where he blocks shit better than anyone else at the cost of stamina drain. Which I am not kidding is the part of his kit that makes him even slightly viable. Oh yeah, and his dodge sucks, but I fat rolled the entirety of my Elden Ring playthrough, so I'm used to this. And that is not hyperbole, I actually fat rolled the entirety of my Elden Ring playthrough because I wanted the big ass greatswords and the great shield. I don't care if I can't dodge, I'll block it all. Iron Eye is the best for a casual Tuesday and you just want to have an easy run. Just shoot the bow. The only thing you have to worry about is getting your mark on an enemy to do % damage to them, but the dash also has iframes, so there's no problem. Duchess is what you imagine a Dex player gameplay would look like, despite the fact that she only has a B scaling in Dex, and an A in Intelligence. She actually is the best in multiplayer because she can redo burst damage with her pocket watch, and her ult, I don't know, it exists. Raider is my personal favorite, as he is the brute force, bell-bearing poise having, dual colossal spamming, rock solid unit character. He's dummy strength basically. He can tank hits by using his skill, which gives him a sure you can after taking enough, and he has Dwayne Johnson on his side, which means he can't lose according to his contract when joining the cast of this game. Revenant is the actual all-rounder, because she has no preference in weapons. If you conveniently ignore the fact that she scales best with Faith, and Ignore the other scaling. How you're supposed to use her is being a spellcaster while her minions distract. I personally prefer big colossal weapons because my summons can distract while I play Mini Raider. I will acknowledge he is still bottom tier though. Recluse throws spells at people. Yeah, I don't really care. Executor is John Sekiro matched with bleed procs. Give me rivers of blood or give me death. Also, you can go dog mode to either be stupid and use it like a free flask and go feral, or be cool like me and Rarg at them the whole time. Scholar, I don't actually know what Scholar does, but run throwing pots, it would be funny. Undertaker is like Raider, except she locks in, and in multiplayer she blows up the enemy with multiple ults. And I guess if you dodge grabs, you also can ult? I don't know, she's like the ult character, I guess. If you like a certain character and want to learn more about them, like who the fuck is Scholar and why is Revenant a sentient doll, that's what the remembrances are for. They give every character their own story elements, as well as specific relics for those characters that they benefit from the most. Relics, speaking of, are basically the out-of-game progression that allows you to either upgrade yourself or change how your character plays. For example, I decided to turn Revenant from a frail caster into a strength character because small character with giant weapons is the best trope. Or my other favorite, which makes the Executor a cheerleader so that every time he roars, the team and himself get healed. The only part that sucks about this is that you have to do the equivalent of decoration grinding in Monster Hunter World, where every relic you get is completely randomized in what it does, and it will always be ass. Please, game, I just want an extra grapple without sacrificing my stone sword key. Please, please. Every character also has skins that sometimes references a Dark Souls character or is completely original. I'm a personal fan of The Rock for obvious reasons. Not only is this game a roll slop game, it's also a friend slop game. And I might even go as far as to say it's a quality slop game, where I only like it because it's good. I don't know, there's just so much slop, I just can't consume all of it. Multiplayer in this game actually used to be the only way to play this game, before they rebalanced everything for solo and duo players. The major difference is that when you die, your teammates can miss their jump attack and you cry. The more you go down, the longer it takes to get your teammate up. Unless you're Guardian, which you can just ult and always get them up. Glory to bird players. Otherwise, if your teammate is at 3 bars, don't bother. You'll probably die in a more embarrassing way than your teammate did. Not only this, but the final boss shop does not give you a Wendigo race for free, unlike in solo. Which is why I consider multiplayer to be tougher, despite the fact that they allow me to wail on the enemy while my friends do the hard part of actually dodging. Otherwise, the loop is very much similar, except your friends will get all the upgrades and the weapons that they want, and you will get a fist or a whip.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I guess to make this even slightly review, I'll tell you, should you get the game? If you want Souls but faster, but it's still Souls, then yes, buy the game. Now, I don't know if I can say the same for the DLC, because some of it is amazing. And then there's these. Only buy it if you think you'll stick with Nightreign after playing for a bit. Otherwise, that's pretty much it for the overview. There's a lot more smaller things like field boss spawn areas, stone sword spawns, and things that can be relegated into the fun facts area. For now, I will continue to sit in the void praying that I have any motivation to keep making videos. See ya.